Hello, my name is Brooke Burns, and on behalf of myself and my co-managers, Miss Melissa and Miss Fawn, we would like to welcome you to the PBM Incorporated Performance Presentation for Footwear Industry 3. As a competitor in the footwear industry, PBM's strategic vision was primarily to focus on the quality of our footwear products. The company concentrated on a high variety of models that were both high in quality and competitively affordable to customers. Our main goal was to make customers feel confident, satisfied, and happy when they purchased a pair of shoes. And as a part of the company's strategic vision, PBM promoted the slogan, Live Your Best Life, Buy the Shoes.
So as we discussed in our 3-year strategic plan, our initial strategy was quite non-existent and fairly reactive, more than anything. We really went with the higher priced models, as well as a kind of moderate quality level, which really didn't equate to the level of price we were going for. We really did want to strive for that celebrity appeal and enter the private label market, which we unfortunately did so unsuccessfully. As well as finding a combination that would generate profit for our shareholders. Now, this left us about middle of the road when it came to the strategic group map, specifically for North America, as you can see here. Now, the leaders that really emerged in this first year were Team B, Team A, and Team K. As you can see, they really have the most significant market share out of any of the teams, with Team K performing most successfully as that team really identified kind of the sweet spot in the market, the group map, because they had the higher product line with the moderate quality rating, but still had the price well enough to hit the right market share. So by the end of year 17, our team had really developed a more finite strategy of selling a low price shoe at a very high quality, and ensuring that our distribution centers and our production centers were producing as much as capacity would allow, and that we were selling through all that on-hand inventory. That was also done. We also paid off our loans so that we could improve our credit ratings and meet investor expectations, which really left us, again, at the very middle of the road. We played it a little bit safe, but we really just wanted to come up from last place successfully. Now, the winner of the game for our industry was Group K, which is quite, unsurprising since they were so successful in year one. And it appears that they really did deploy a similar strategy the whole game of really finding that sweet spot between the quality and the price to match up to be something that a consumer really wanted to purchase. But their biggest success against our strategy was that they had a high number of models. Ours was pretty moderate, but their high number of models is really what brought them ahead of the game.
Overall, during the year of production, PBM Inc. had a great start of $250 million in net revenue, and then with a sharp decrease to $119 million in year 12. Then it had a sharp increase to $258 million in year 13 and fluctuated until year 17 with a $250 million in ending revenue. This fluctuation is due to increase in advertising, high debt, obtaining and losing celebrity appeal, increasing and decrease in cost per pair over time for wholesale and online marketing, combined with quality when compared to competitor in Industry 3. From year 10 to year 17, we had zero increase in revenue. Our greatest year in terms of net revenue was from year 16 of $260 million, and our greatest jump in net revenue was in year 12 to 13 of $139 million. Price and SQ rating for North America. The initial target was the quality rating of 5 to allow the company to become more appealing in this area while offering affordable shoe. Then we were able to see a fluctuation in S&Q rating from year 11 to year 17, going from 5 to 6 to 4 and back to 6 again. This is happening because the company is overpricing its product above the market price while offering products with similar quality as its rival. The company also have a lower image rating and no celebrity appeal, which become less appealing to consumer and generate less profit than expected and result in company unable to offer the quality product that it want to. Both the internet and wholesale have similar pricing strategy, is that the company pricing had a sharp increase from year 11 to 12 and then a sharp decrease from year 12 to 13 and then gradually decrease over time. The purpose of the decrease in the pricing is to increase revenue so that the company can pay off its high debt and reposition itself in the market by offering more affordable products with higher quality. Examining the return on equities tells us that the company only met investor expectation once, which was on year 10 at 15%. After that, we start to see a sharp decrease from year 11 all the way to year 14, and then the company start increasing slowly from year 15 to year 17. Year 10 to 11 were the company best performance year as it was the highest ROE. Year 12 to year 15, the company struggled to gain high profit because the company was mainly funded by debt and was not able to pay off those debt with its current revenue and result in lower ROE. Then starting from year 14 to year 17, we see a huge increase in ROE, moving away from negative values to positive value. At this time, the company decided to pay off debt and continue to gradually lower price on both wholesale and internet marketing while keeping high-quality products at a lower price to increase in sale.
PBM stock prices saw the best results in year 11. This year, the company reported its highest achievement towards investor expectations throughout the time span, and stock prices reached about 72% of what investors expected. After that, unfortunately, PBM stock price trends reflected that of a roller coaster that only traveled downhill until the last 2 years of business. The company hit extreme lows, with the lowest record being about 11% of investor expectation, which was in year 15. And sadly, the company actually never met investor expectations. But in year 16, we began to see a small increase in stock prices for the first time in 5 years. And we actually reached about 16% of investor expectations, whereas in year 15 it was at 11. So we came up about 5% within the following year. PBM actually ended business in year 17 by increasing stock prices up to a final 21% of investor expectations. And as you can see over here in the chart, it shows where PBM's stock prices were yearly in relation to investor expectations. And we actually went ahead and added the information from our company's strongest competition in the industry, which was Company K, called ZLock. And as you can see over here, ZLock blew past investor expectations every year and ended business actually exceeding expectations by a whopping 347%. PBM initially knew that we would not have no exact consistent strategy in the industry, and as the years progressed, our strategy was mainly to evaluate our performance every year and make changes in relation to how our company and other companies in the industry were doing at that time. However, our first goal in our initial strategy for the last 3 years of business operations was to eliminate debt of about $250,000 from a loan that we had received in 2 prior years. And next, we wanted to focus mainly on quality. And in addition, we wanted to gain control over our capacity and inventory, and as a result, only produce and ship what was projected as needed. And lastly, as our strategy, we wanted to gradually decrease prices to remain at a competitive level. As the years progressed and we overall did achieve eliminating our debt in year 15, and actually from then brought our credit rating up from a C minus to an A plus by year 17. In year 16, we honed in on one inventory, which was actually in Asia Pacific, and we were able to sell some additional capacity we had. And however, in year 17, though, we were forced to actually purchase some of that capacity back to break right about even that we projected, which was doable. We accomplished increasing our quality significantly, but as a result, we actually were able to decrease prices, and we were forced to actually increase them, but only a tiny bit, so that we could achieve somewhat of a greater profit back on our products.
So our team chose Team J, the Sneakerheads, as our biggest competitor. Really at first because they had an equally unsuccessful and unspecified strategy at the beginning of the game. Really the only strengths that the Sneakerheads had were rebate offers pretty consistently, but towards the end, their wholesale pricing really helped out with their strengths as well as some delivery time. But it was obvious that they really didn't do much with quality, and their internet price was pretty high at the beginning as well. Some differences were that we focused heavily on celebrity appeal up front, whereas the Sneakerheads focused a lot on private label and did so very successfully at the very beginning, which we were not able to. Now, if you look at the market analysis and the competition maps, you can kind of see that C and J follow each other around a little bit, which is kind of what led us to see them as our biggest competitor, because in market share, we remained fairly consistent, as well as overall place in the game. Now, like I said, unfortunately, they did finish last. We finished a little bit higher. I don't think that they were able to find a significant strategy in the end.
After 7 years of performing business operations within the footwear industry, our company learned several valuable lessons. Internally and as co-managers, we learned that it was best to use all available resources that in order to conduct continuous and thorough market research of competitors' operations in the industry. Additionally, we found that strong and continuous communication between all of our co-managers was key to achieving year-to-year success. And overall in the footwear industry, we learned that it was vital to enter the private label segment early. In addition, gaining celebrity approval was necessary and obtained mostly through higher than average bids, and more than likely achieved when you would make multiple bids on different celebrity contracts. We learned that it was important to evaluate taking out loans more thoroughly, and that it would be most beneficial if revenue was highly stable and continuously projected at the time before taking out a loan. One of the final lessons we also learned was to issue stock when prices were high, and that it was always very important that you wanted to pay out dividends. Overall, in the footwear industry, my co-managers and I are confident that if PBM was to compete in the footwear industry again, we would definitely be more knowledgeable and stronger competitors in the market after learning the lessons we have.